thinking when we get up to you guys give the problems over there, I don't think it's going to record over here. So I'm going to stop the recording, but everybody has the solution to the review problems. All review problems, if you haven't already figured it out, they're in the back of the book. Yeah, so the solutions are in the back of the book for you. So all the review problems are in the back of the book. So you've got those. But I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the document camera, and I'll review the quiz real quick, and we'll go from there. Okay, so determining significant figures, if it's 0.0025.
I'm sorry, we don't see anything.
You're not seeing anything. Okay. Teaching. There we go, try that. See if that works.
No.
Well, it hasn't changed over here either.
Okay, there we go.
And it's one of those cases it hadn't changed over here yet either. So there we go, now we're changed. Okay, cool.
Zoom in just a bit.
Yeah, there we go. It just took some time. The electrons were cold. All right, so if it was 0.002578, that's 4 significant figures. 2.56 was 3. 1021000, that's 4. The next one was 5. 6500, this was a common one that was missed, but if I have a decimal place here, that tells you it's 4. This one, because it doesn't have a decimal place, is only 2. And the last one was 245060. That 0 is significant. It's not just a placeholder. So that one was 7. So number 2, you were given a vector A. And the vector A was 24I minus 65J. So the magnitude of the vector was going to be the square root of 24 squared plus 65 squared, which was 69.3. The angle was going to be the tangent of the 65 divided by 24, which gives me the 69.7 degrees, and we asked for it like that so you didn't have to get it. The most common mistake on that problem, you only gave me magnitude, not magnitude and direction. Or you gave me direction but didn't give me magnitude. That was the common error on that problem. The next one, we have an R vector that we were told that this is 0.7275, and we had a B vector that had a magnitude of 2.8, and we were told that it was a 1, 1 in terms of its direction. So if I did the first vector, that was 7I plus 2.75J, and if you want to come get this, because you won't want this. There you go. And B is going to be, that's a 45-degree triangle, so it's going to be 2.8 times the cosine, or it's going to be 2.8 the cosine of 1. Let's see if I do 1, 1. I get it over the square root of 2. I, and I get 2.8. 1 over the square root of 2, J. And this was the common mistake. And the other part is I had to have a negative for that one. That was another common mistake. So the resulting vector ends up being 8.98 I plus 0.77 J. I counted that as correct. I also gave credit if you went ahead and gave me 9.09, and my angle is 4.9 degrees. But the common mistake was you just left it in 1 square root of 2. You didn't take into account the magnitude of the vector. Okay, this next one, because I had a lot of you do it this way, it's a little different. It's not just a straight add the vectors because of the way the problem is worded. It's not just a straight add the vectors. It's you were given so pilots when they fly, they're given a vector that they're going to fly along, which is what we did. We gave a vector that was flying along this way. And I gave that as A is equal to 360 I plus 520 J. Oops, there should be a 20 J. So I need to know the magnitude of that vector, and the magnitude of that vector is 632. Then we say it took a 45-degree turn. So that's 45 degrees. And then and we're flying along a vector that's now a minus 250 K plus 180 J. And so we need to find the magnitude of that one, and it's 308. So this problem is easier solved by doing c squared is equal to b squared plus a squared minus 2ba cosine of the angle. And that's 308 squared plus 632 squared minus 308, 632 cosine 45 degrees. And I just wanted you to draw the picture and then give the magnitude, and the magnitude was 468. The next one, we had 2 vectors. I chose to solve it with sine and cosine. So I got one vector like this, I got one vector like this. So drawing the picture was the critical part. So this has a magnitude of 15, this has a magnitude of 10. We can figure out this angle is 50 degrees, this angle is 70 degrees. So the interior angle was 120 degrees. So I did the c squared is equal to 15 squared plus 10 squared minus 2, 15, 10, cosine 120 gave me 475, which when I took the square root gives me 2179. This is after the square root, by the way. So I gave you that, and then if you wanted the angles, I used 10 sine alpha is equal to 21.8 sine 120 degrees, and that would give you your angle. And so you could ultimately end up with a vector that was 6.22 in the I minus 20.89 in the J. And that angle, if I do the angle here, this angle is what I was asked to solve, sort of. That ended up being like 70 or some, or the angle this angle was this angle there, sorry. That angle here, and that worked out to be 73.4 degrees.
Where was that in the question?
Determine the resultant force.
Oh, we had a question here.
Yeah, it said, where was that in the question? You'd have to return the resultant force. And so I either have to do magnitude and angle, or I do it this way. So if you gave me this and this, you got full credit, or if you gave me that, you got full credit.
I have both.
You did extra work then.
Yeah, and you still rounding me off for it.
I did?
Yeah, because I have 6.22I minus 20.88J, and I also did the resulting.
Oh, well, then get it back to me. I must have that's my bad on the grading.
Yeah, I have one about that too.
Okay. Just bring it back to me on Monday, I'll fix it.
Thank you.
I fix it. My bad. I was grading them pretty fast in order to get them back to you guys. So I will make the adjustment. My bad. Okay, the next one we had to find the vector, and it was just a straightforward, I got F is 200 newtons, and we're told that it's 30 degrees this way, and on the projection, it's 45 degrees. So the way I did it was this, I calculated F of Z was 200 cosine 30 degrees, which gives me 173 newtons. I calculated Fxy, which is the down in the y, Fxy. That gave me 200 sine 30 degrees is equal to 100 newtons. Then I did my Fx, which was 100 cosine 45 degrees. Fy was 100 sine 45 degrees. That gives me 70.7 newtons, and this gives me 70.7 newtons. So F should be 70.7 I plus 70.7 J plus 173 K. You could have done it direct, but I don't remember direct, so I did it that way. On the rounding, the three that are the persnickety ones were C, because we're going to three significant figures. It's 26.6 because we use the rule to round up. Then F, the easiest way to get it so that you get it right is 26.0 times 10 to the third. And then H is 370. You got to put the dot in it, or you could put it in scientific notation. But those were the three common myths. And then the last one, we start out with A being, let's see, which one is that? That's the 30 degree, or F1. I get positive 433I plus 2.5J. B was 1.02I plus 282J. And then C was negative 8 4/5 I plus 8 3/5 J. And that gives you an R of negative 1.05 I plus 10.1 J. And I had a couple people leave it blank, so I'm guessing you ran out of time.
What was the highest score?
I want to say, I can check just a sec. Let me check. But that doesn't account for the fact that obviously I misgraded something.
It's not gonna affect that problem.
Do what?
It won't affect the highest grade, I promise. Not for me at least.
Grades ran from 40.6 to lowest was a little over 15. Average, just so you guys know the average, hang on, let me do college statistics. Average was 29. Remember, I drop a quiz. I actually wasn't terribly concerned. Because I think somebody got everything, different places correctly. Like I said, the biggest errors were not taken into account, the magnitude of the one. And number 4 caused people consternation. Because I don't think, because of the way that 45-degree turn is, it's a little weird. Yeah, that one I intended to use the law of cosines in order to solve. And then number 5, you could have done it a couple of different ways, which people did. And the biggest error on number 6, that one for number 6, is a lot of you did it and forgot to do it this way, or if you did it directly, you forgot to straighten out the sines and cosines. Was what the mistakes were. But I would definitely review the quiz. There will definitely be a problem for the unit vector, finding a unit vector. There's definitely going to be a dot product problem. 10 problems total. I tried to make them as short as I could. You do have a couple of problems that do the significant figures, and so those you can whip through really quick. Will caution you that, as with other tests of mine, you want to look at which problems you can do fast, because there is one problem that will take you a while to do. I would save it till last. And unfortunately, it's in the middle of the test. So don't get yourself distracted by it. Okay? All right. See, who has the lowest number sample problem? Is it Madison or Elena?
I have 2, 4.
You got 2, 4? You ready?
Give me just a second.
Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording because I don't think I can record as it presents over here. I will switch